In the previous episode, we spent some time settling into the revamped Oxwagon camp at Witmoskloof before taking some time to do some trajectory validation with the air guns and eventually heading out to shoot monkeys, dussies and ground squirrels. You will have seen all the dussie and ground squirrel footage in that episode. However, we got so much good footage of the monkeys that we had to split the day up into 2 episodes. So what you're about to see today are all the monkey shots from day 1. Monkey hunting can be a somewhat controversial topic, but in my province they can be hunted all year round with no bag limit and need to be controlled in certain areas due to the damage they cause to native bird life, crops and property. So let's get down to monkey business. So there's locusts everywhere. I actually saw a video they put on Facebook a few weeks ago of a pretty crazy plague of locusts they had. So these are obviously the last bits coming through, but they said they just came on anything that was green and just wiped it out. So crazy stuff, but hopefully there's not too many more down the road where we're going now. The strategy that we're going to use today is to just cover as much ground as possible. This is a large property with probably hundreds of different troops of monkeys spread across different valleys and mountains, but trying to get close with an air gun is a real challenge, especially in the thick bush. Thankfully, the Impact M3 can reach out pretty far, so we're able to take opportunities like this from over 100 yards pretty easily. Wow, 97 meters. Glad I did my trajectory validation this morning because that's just a few meters under what we were shooting. First shot, nailed it in the head. Super happy with that. So our first monkey down, and I think we got it great on scope cam. I'll check out the footage now. One down, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. I had my struggles with getting the trajectory correct, particularly shooting uphill with a few shots passing high, and with the wind picking up, I had to begin holding off as well. With the monkeys moving out past 150 meters, it's time to switch to a more capable weapon for a while.
There's one.
This is a 22-50 Remington shooting 50 grain nozzler ballistic tips at 3,800 feet per second. It's pretty much the perfect tool for this job.
Dead.
Got a large group of monkeys here on this hillside. I got an awesome shot at one from about 100 meters in the head, perfect, but they've just moved off too far now for the air gun. The wind's coming through this valley. I don't have to be guessing wind holds and stuff at these distances. So 22-50 came out, smashed one at about 150 meters, and I'm just going to keep looking there because, oh, there's one right there. Okay, 207 meters. Just going to give it like 2 clicks. It's pretty steep here. I'm going to try to find him again. There he is. Clocked it. Another one there. Dead. I need more ammo. It's 3 down. What's that saying? Keep your friends close and your ammo closer. Something like that. I can guarantee you they're still up there. They're hiding. This is where having a good bipod and a good sandbag really helps. Having to get into a position on a random rock, shooting monkeys at 200 meters, which is close for this 22-50, but man, you want to be comfortable when you take those shots. Anyone who thinks it's unfair shooting at a monkey with a flat shooting varminting caliber like the 22-50 does not understand how clever they are. These things, if they wanted to, they could hide in a bush 10 meters away and you wouldn't see them. And they try to, but sometimes when you get them on a hillside like this and you get a lot of open space and you're at an angle, it's a lot easier to spot them. If they just kept still, I wouldn't see them, but sometimes they just try to make a break for it, and that's when you spot them. I think they've wised up now. Nope, I think let's call it there. Too smart. They've learnt their lesson. They're not going to come back for a while. Let's move on. In the thick stuff like this, most opportunities will be from close, so I'm actually better off using the quiet air gun, which may give me a few more follow-up shots. The challenge is trying to find a stable rest at these awkward angles, and I'm not 100% sure what went wrong here. Did I pull the shot? Did he move at the last moment, or did the wind push the slug off to the right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Either way, the monkeys move off beyond airgun range again, so it's back to the good old 22-250. Dead. Ooh, there runs another one. It just shows, you know, I try to go after these with the air gun, walked and stalked through, but when you're down in amongst the bush, especially with an air gun where you have to get relatively close, they know you're there, and all they have to do is hide a few bushes away and you just won't see them. But when they start running up the hillside like this, and you're something like a 22-250 that can reach out far, then it opens up a lot of doors. So I think in the future a good plan is to, if we see them, and go in with the air gun and don't get them, don't give up. Actually try to push them up the hill, and then come back, change to the 22-250, and then try to get more opportunities. Because this gun is doing the business right now. This wind, unfortunately, even though that air gun is really pushing the limits of what you can do with high BCs and velocity and cutting through the air, this wind is still makes it really challenging, anything past 100 meters. So this is going to be the way we need to go, the 22-250, I think. But let's move on. It's about lunchtime now. I think we're going to travel a little bit more and see if we can get a few more, and then we'll probably stop off somewhere and have a nice lunch. So our strategy on this trip is quite simply to just cover a lot of ground and just stop when we see stuff. My lungs are still pretty damaged from having COVID a few weeks back, so I don't want to be hiking up and down mountains if I can help it. I actually have turned down the opportunity to shoot a blessed buck because I don't want to be exerting myself too much. So we're moving around in the bucky. If we see something, we stop, we get out, rest on the bull bar in the front or on the back or on a rock or whatever, try to get some shots, and if they move further, lie down on the side of the road or rest on something and try to get a further shot with a 22-250. What is that, 15 meters? Thankfully I've got a scope that parallaxes all the way down to like 10. That was insanely close. I mean, I could hardly find him. He took up the whole field of view in the scope, but got focused and smashed him. I think I hit him in the neck. Let's go take a look. It's very close, went down straight away, so should have dropped him properly. Do not know where I hit him, but looks like there's some blood here in his neck. It's an exit wound here. Wow. Okay, well, in the one side of his neck, out the other, dead on the spot. We got on scope cam, so very happy with that. I'm loaded, I think, and I'm recording. "100 meters, sitting down, dead on the spot. on the spot, just body shot straight down. You couldn't do that with an air gun 5 years ago, not a 22 caliber. This is basically a rimfire now, with a big hollow point. So let's just keep here. Just see if they come up, but oh, just so perfect. So perfect. I actually think I need my 22-250. So I started off with an awesome shot with the air gun from 100 meters, and once again they've just moved out of range of the air gun. So what's nice, we've got a little wind pump down there, so we can see exactly what the wind is doing and which direction it's blowing. Not that it's really needed for the 22-250 at these, you know, under 250 meters, but it's nice to know for the air gun. But yeah, these monkeys are just really good at hiding. I know there's a few down here, but they're just deep in these bushes. This is a view of what I see through the new 4-16x44 Helix first focal plane rifle scope. It's very clear and works extremely well with the scope cam. I have it on 14 times here for the purposes of filming, but the reticle thickness leads itself really well to lower magnifications, which I think is when people will most likely be using it for stuff like this, varminting and hunting. I think if I was rested properly on a bipod and sandbag, I would have tried to weave a bullet between the branches, but I was a little bit too shaky here, and eventually this one escapes to safety. I had a few GoPro failures throughout this trip, with the camera freezing and footage being lost, which is a real pity. This was one of them, but we got another opportunity in a bush about 300 meters away, and with the wind in this valley being relatively calm, it's an easy chip shot for the 22-250. Hey, I see his little cute little face. Dead. 300 meters, spot on, in the head from 300. I love this gun. Oh, it's awesome. So I happen to have a nice setup here right in the back for filling my gun. I've had to put this air tank amongst a bunch of bedding and stuff to make sure it doesn't roll around, but it's nice to have air on the spot. Put it up to 250. There you go. Nice and full. We start making our way back towards the camp. It's been an action-packed day by anyone's standards, but of course we can't turn down the opportunity to take one more shot along the way. I don't know if this will go in the main video because it's a bit graphic, but I hit this thing perfectly in the head. Wow. Yep, blood coming out of both ears, and it sounded like really solid. It was a deep thump. These slugs they hit really hard. So another male monkey, you can see the blue nuts over there. In Afrikaans they call this a blow-aap or a blowbal-aap, which means like blue ball monkey. But very descriptive. But another one down. Almost got a second one here, but one is good enough. Happy with that. Often, you know, with air guns, you come out here, you don't know if you're gonna get any. So for us to get as many as we did today, that's fantastic work. Just want to show this to you quickly. This is what the javelins do. I needed to get rid of a slug that was in the barrel, so took a shot here. You can see the size of that hole. There's my finger next to it. It's probably the size of a golf ball. And then the slug disintegrated. Bits of it came out here and just minced up the back of this piece here, and then the main chunk continued on and made a second large hole there. So just goes to show these things do a heck of a lot of damage. Well, today could not have gone any better. Well, it could have if it wasn't quite so windy. I think we probably would have got a few more hits that actually ended up being misses. Probably would have been able to stretch out the ranges a bit more with the air gun, but I mean, the amount of monkeys we got with the air gun, that's not normal. Normally you come out here and you struggle to get stuff with the air gun, and you kind of end up reverting to the centerfires just to try and make up the numbers. But today it was like I was using the air gun and with joy, and I'm sure part of that is due to the fact that we have, you know, technology continually moving forward that just makes that air gun able to do more and more. And that's kind of the theme of the Oxwagon Diaries, I guess, is like, this is the raw experience of new products. It always seems like when I come out here there's something new to test, and you just have to start way back at the first Oxwagon Diaries episode and watch them through to see how technology has progressed. Each series we do, there's some big leap forward, and today was another showcase of that with that impact. And with the, you know, the new 4-16 helix we're using on the 22-50, the APR 2D reticle on the Nexus, that what we use on the air gun, that's new. Aculite mounts, that's new. Whole bunch of new stuff. 800mm barrel that we're playing around with. We don't know if that's going to go into production or not at this stage, but it's just something I'm having fun with and really enjoyed it. And then there's also something about the Oxwagon Diaries in that it's more than just a hunting series. It's kind of a story of where my life is at the time of filming, because it's really just you seeing me and my life exposed more than any other series, I think. And you know, you saw when the series started, it was the first time I came here, I was a little kid, you know, I was probably in high school at the time. Next time I came out was a few years later. I had my long hair. I came out with Luke. We were both hooligans. You know, just roughing it and just enjoying being out here. And then as we progressed, you know, Luke finished his studies, Luke got married, now I'm married. Last year was lockdown where I was out here by myself. The year before that I was out here having just met Nicole and really missing her, and now she's here with me behind the camera. So yeah, who knows what the next series will bring. It's really cool. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. We certainly have enjoyed today a lot. We're gonna make some supper now and then probably stay up and watch the stars come out, and hopefully you get to see some of the artistic time lapses and little bits and pieces where we're trying to wrap up everything we're experiencing into a video so you can experience it with us, which is difficult to do and it will never be the same. But I guess you guys just have to come out here and experience it yourself. You can book to stay at the Oxwagon, whether you are foreign or local, and you can book to hunt. Up until now, you couldn't come here and hunt with an air gun, but now they are opening up air gun hunting, which means you can hunt everything from a ground squirrel to a Cape buffalo if you want. I mean, they offer big game hunting as well, and now you can come out here with an air gun and shoot small game, and they are putting packages together. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure you'll see that soon. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.